Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the CAM section in FreeCAD. Now, a bit of a backstory. I have a 5-axis CNC milling machine. It currently only works with Fusion 360, but I've actually managed to change this now. My milling machine will now work with FreeCAD as well. This is important because the milling machine that I have is a Kern Nano. It is a relatively custom machine. It's not something that will run any type of post-processor. It also uses Innovance, which is a different types of controller. But basically, I have been able now to modify FreeCAD to the extent where it has my post-processor already ingrained in it, and I've created a new CAM workbench that will work just as well as Fusion 360. Of course, it's a work in progress. It's not done yet, but it will be done, and when it's done, it'll be great. But in this video, I wanted to show you all the progress that I've made. So without further ado, let's head on over to FreeCAD. In FreeCAD, here you can see it's FreeCAD, and this is my workbench. It's called CAM2. Before we do that, let's go ahead and make a quick couple of parts. So we'll create a first document here, and then we'll create ourselves a rectangle, just like this. We'll create a rectangle just like this. Then we'll constrain this end to here. Then we'll set up 2 dimensions. Let's make it hit OK, and then we'll go ahead and extrude this. Very nice. And on top of here, we're going to be creating, let's go ahead and create a datum plane, just like this. Then we'll move it down in the Z direction, minus whatever 25 divided by 2 is, 12.5, hit OK. And then on top of here, we're going to create another sketch, and then we're going to be creating a sort of a dome radius here on the top. And then we'll hit OK. Very nice. Okay, our part is ready for machining. Let's go ahead and head our way over to CAM2, which is the workbench that I created, and let's go ahead and create a job here. We'll select this body, hit OK, and here we want to now set the datum, because here's the thing, right? On a CNC milling machine, where is it the easiest to actually locate in your part? Is it here? Is it here? Where is it? Well, with my section, you can actually change the point arbitrarily. You can set origin right here. We can set the origin right here if we want to, inside of the dome. We can set the origin on top of the stock. We can set the origin wherever we want. And we can also flip these directions here, which is a really nice feature. But I think it's fine right here, so we'll go ahead and hit OK. Now we'll go ahead and create ourselves a tool. We actually have a 5mm end mill already, but do we have a ball nose end mill? Actually, we have a 6mm ball end mill. So let's go ahead and add that to our job right here. We'll go over here, double click on that, click on tools, and then we'll go ahead and add ourselves a tool. We'll find a 6mm ball end mill, hit add tool on that, end mill. Okay, very, very nice. You can go ahead and hit OK here now. If you guys want, maybe we can make this in a separate video. I don't have time to make it right now, but we can if we want to. Okay, so now let's go ahead and actually make this thing here. Now, if you've been using FreeCAD for any amount of time, you'll know that making something like this is not going to be easy. FreeCAD doesn't really have any sort of spiraling, tracing, anything like that. It's mainly to create very, very simple shape. So the way that you would make something like this, if you truly wanted to, is that you would be just layering together a billion different adaptive toolpaths. So if we were to create an adaptive toolpath right here, and we were to go to base geometry and we were to add this right here, I think that is okay, right? It would be creating something like this, and maybe you would be able to create something if you were to do this enough times, but I don't like that. So I went ahead and created adaptive clearing. So with this, we can go ahead and select this tool right here. It is automatically going to select the correct axis, but if we wanted a different axis, we could do that too, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. All right, so for base geometry, we'll actually go in and select this. And actually, that is all that we need to do. We'll hit OK now, and this will take a few seconds to compute. And once it's done, we'll get something that looks a little bit like this. So this is actually now going to mill away everything until we're left with sort of the base shape that we want. In case your end mill isn't long enough, you can go over here to the depth section, and let's go ahead and add 10 millimeters to the base here so that we don't cut all the way down. We'll hit OK here, and now let's go ahead and finish this up. So if we were to simulate this, let's go ahead and simulate this. Let's go ahead and mill it all out. Okay, so now it will sort of look like this, but this isn't the final polished result that you would want. You want something that's a little bit less coarse here. And the way that you can do that is by using this. This is called surfacing. And with surfacing, we will be using our ball end mill, and we'll select our base geometry, which is this. Select add here, and then we'll add this as well. And that is basically it. We can go ahead and apply. And then we're going to be seeing sort of like a parallel morphing toolpath. This is a little bit slow because it's generating a lot of toolpaths here, but it will do it in a second. There we go. You can see that it will actually sort of now draw around here on the outside. And it will actually move, you know, correctly-ish. You can also, if you want to, you can go over here to operation, and then we can go ahead and change this to spiral, and we'll be spiraling inwards. We'll hit apply, and now this, instead of just moving parallel, it will actually sort of be rolling around with it. This is slightly better for making spherical stuff. So I'll just wait for this to generate. This will take a second. There we go. That looks a little bit more correct for what we're trying to do. And of course, you don't have to select this outer area here. You know, it's good enough for a demonstration at least. Go ahead and hit OK there, and that is perfect, yeah? So that looks honestly quite good. But we have a problem, right? Because we milled away the top here, and we milled away all the way down here to the bottom. But in our case, our tool isn't actually long enough to be able to reach all the way down here. So we need to flip this part over, and then we actually want to face the sides of this. And how we will do that is that we will click right here, and then we will hit facing, mill facing. We will use our 6mm tool, and then we'll select our orientation, and we'll set the Z-axis right here. And now you'll see that our axis have actually tilted 90 degrees in this direction. We'll hit apply, and now you can actually see here now that we're generating toolpaths right here. We are a little bit tall right here. We're a little bit tall, so let's go and see here the depth. Right, so yeah, I mean, it does indeed work. It's just a little bit rough around the edges for now. Let me show you here. Well, yeah, that is basically everything. I also created a thread milling tool so that you can do thread milling a little bit easier. And what I'll be working with here is just making these algorithms here basically rock solid so that these issues here don't really affect it anymore. This is what I created here today. You know, at least the adaptive toolpath, it works really, really nice. And then for the orientation, it doesn't work as nice for some things, but for other things it does work pretty well. So if I just go ahead and disable the view of this, I go over here and then I hit like adaptive, and then I will hit orientation and then set the C and apply. Yeah, this one here works quite well. This one works quite well. So you can see here that it's actually milling at this pocket. Now let's just go ahead and hit OK right here, and then we'll hit this job, and then we'll hit post process. Where was that button? Was it this one? Yep. And then we can use my kern G, this one here. Machine not found in factory. Machine must be set manually. What do you mean? Did it not generate? Let's see here. File written to, okay. Let's go ahead and copy that. Okay, very nice. We can go up to the top here, and we can just go ahead and take a look here that it generated correctly. So if it's correct, then we will do our adaptive clearing. And this is, you know, the stuff that we were seeing up there. These generate a lot of text. middle facing, here we are. Okay, yeah, so it will go, after it's done doing the adaptive toolpath, it will go to the center location, that is where it sort of ends. And then G0 is at 3, it will move upwards, it's at 5, and then it will disable the 5-axis. This is like a safety block that just prevents the syncing of axes. I don't know what the English word is for it. Disable the tool height, and then it will move the tool up and move it to the safe indexing position. Set the indexing to this location right here. And then it will swap to the tool. That is correct. G54, and then it will set the A-axis, move the A-axis, and then it goes, yep. What is the C here? What was the C? 12.5. That should be correct, I think. That should be correct. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's, that works. That works. Yeah. So this is basically my first video in the series here where I'll be fixing the cam section in FreeCAD. I'll definitely make a lot more videos than this. And at the end of this, I expect it to take like around a year or something. I think we'll have something really close to Fusion 360, but available inside of FreeCAD. So thank you a lot for watching and have a nice day.